Joining us now, our second guest of the day, the always talented, uber over the top of excitement, ball of energy, who has taken some more time off from his busy schedule to join BYU Sports Nation, David Nixon. Dave, welcome back, man.
Hey, it feels great to be back on the show, guys.
Hey, we're going to get right to it. We're rolling, baby. The emotions are high. Our Twitter question today, why or why not do you feel strongly about BYU continuing its football series with Utah? And I'll say this, I'm on the fence, man. Convince me why I should care when it's this hard to keep it going.
Well, first of all, the answer is yes. We should keep the rivalry going. I think it was good that it took a couple years off because it was getting a little nasty. But this is what college football is all about. And as a player, as a foreign player, you look forward to these games. And I know that sometimes other people downplay them and say it's just another game. But Brian and I can attest that it's not just another game when you're playing the team up north, that you get ready, you put everything into it. It's a different week than the other weeks. And for the players, it's exciting. So I think it's time for it to get back on the bandwagon and get back on the schedule and spark it up again because it really is something that's special. And I remember when I got to play, Utah for those 4 years, each one of those games was always closely contested. Although my senior year it was a little lopsided, but all those games were fun games. It didn't matter if one team was better than the other or what going into it, what the line was or whatever it was. It was always closely contested. It was a fun game, and so I think for players' sake, I think it needs to be put back in. I think for fans' sake, fans love to watch that game, and it includes the bragging rights. And there's a lot of fun that goes along with it. People at work are razzing, teasing each other, and the communities or whatever it may be. So. That's what sports are all about. It's to engage the community, have people involved, and I think it's about time it gets back on the schedule.
David, see, that's why you are my brother from another, because I agree with everything that you have just said, especially from the player standpoint and from the community standpoint. But what do you say to the fans outside of Utah?
Yes.
And I mean, Spencer and some of the other fans that weighed in on Twitter, they make great points. I mean, what does it really matter to a fan in Florida or New York where, that during that rivalry week, they got their BYU Cougar shirt on and nobody else cares. Nobody's going to look twice about it during the Utah week.
Well, I think people still do care, and I think this rivalry is kind of an example of what's happening across the entire college football landscape. I mean, another dear one to me is Texas and Texas A&M. With me growing up there at Texas A&M, they haven't played since 2011. So it's an example of what's going on, and if you don't care about this rivalry, you should, because it's going to start happening to all of the universities. I don't care what university you root for. I was reading something the other day, West Virginia and Pitt, they have a huge rivalry. They've discontinued theirs. So it's a problem that's happening across the entire college football landscape where these teams are just looking out for themselves and they're looking at the revenue amount, how many wins they can get. And they're not looking at the emotional side of it of man, we should be playing our big rival because of how fun it is for the fans. And they're more worried about the money than they are about the emotions and the fun of the game. So even if you're not a BYU or Utah fan, you're looking at this, you hope that it gets picked back up because I think this rivalry looks at other rivalries and say, well, they're not playing, so why should we play? And so I think it's a bigger issue than just BYU-Utah. I mean, once again, A&M and all these other schools that aren't playing the rivals, it just allows these other ADs at other colleges to say, well, they're not doing it, so why should we? Let's not play them because it is a tough game. Usually when you're playing your rival, the reason it is a rival is because it's a tough game on your schedule. And so they're saying, let's go, schedule an easy cupcake win so we can get bowl eligible and get the extra revenue or whatever it may be. So, wherever you are and whatever it is, you should care about this rivalry because it could affect your school if you're not rooting for BYU-Utah.
Dave, I'd like you to react to this tweet that I just saw from @JVFiso. She says, Utah is like the girlfriend who thinks she's better than you. Just cut the cord and let her go. Get a new rivalry. Your reaction to that tweet?
Well, I never had a girlfriend that thought she was better than me, so I can't. I'm just kidding.
Swag.
Just kidding. But in all reality. In all reality, BYU should feel that way. There's no girlfriend that's ever too good for him. So I don't know if BYU can relate that way, to be honest.
Oh, that's great stuff. Hey, for the insight into the BYU-Utah rivalry, we appreciate the time, David. Always great to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.